She's like a natural level 7 that has a lot of warmth in it, almost like a caramel. It's so pretty. So getting depth is really hard on her because her hair is so light. So adding this brighter pieces is gonna add a lot of contrast in there. And then we'll paint the face frame on at the bowl where it's really, really controlled. So normally I have my Eco Heads mixer, but I forgot to charge it, so I don't have it, so I get to mix this by hand for 4 minutes. So the easiest way that I do it is I pre-mix bowls, or like I put the powder in first, then the developer, and then I mix it as I need it, so that way it's super fresh every single time, and that's when it's its most powerful. So I'll just pull up my little phone timer and I will start it, and I just kind of mix it slow. I try not to get crazy because then it gets really messy. So I just do it pretty slow until it starts to catch. You can see it's pretty bright, and I'm not as efficient as my mixer because normally with the Eco Heads mixer, I can have this pre-mixed bowl with the lightener and the developer in, and I can just click a button and it'll start mixing for about 75 seconds while I'm still finishing up foils. And then I'll click it again before I'm finished with the bowl that I have. And then by the time I'm done, I can just grab that and just swap it out, which is super convenient. But sometimes people don't want to spend money on a mixer, which I totally get. This works great. It just takes 4 minutes of your time. But sometimes it's kind of nice because you get to mix it to that perfect consistency, and sometimes the Eco Head can make it feel a little too whipped, like Cool Whip versus a little bit thicker icing. And I think consistency is very important when you're mixing, because if it's too thick, then it will dry out, and then if it's too thin, it will slide out. So that way you have a bunch of messy foils everywhere. It's starting to get a little bit brighter now. And I just use this little metal whisk I got at, I'm pretty sure it was Armstrong McCall. I noticed the rubberized ones over time just don't work as well, and this one's just kind of like my tried and true. Pretty sure we got one of these in hair school a long time ago, and just never breaks. It's amazing. I would say compared to a lot of other lighteners I've used before, this does feel the most thin, whipped feeling. Maybe fluffy is a good word, but it doesn't swell like some other brands I've used before, like Redken before. Their Flash Lift is terrifying. So this one's pretty, like as long as I do that small little tuck in the foil, I never have issues of slipping, which is so great. That's something I feel like I kind of learned recently. I've been playing around with it because I do have platinum clients that like really, really packed in foils, and we cannot have any slippage. Otherwise, it's always on somebody with very dark hair. You'll be able to see all of those cheetah spots and bleeds that are in the hairline. And that is the worst look ever. Very hard to fix. So we just don't make the mistake if we can help it. Okay, 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so we're almost done. And yes, you have to do this for every single bowl of lightener, and the reason is Blonde Solutions has a capsulized technology, so they have like capsulized pigments in there, and if you do not mix it with the recommended time, which is 4 minutes, you're gonna get little, it looks like confetti, like sprinkles all over the foil. So you'll see pink and like green and like maybe blue or something, and it looks crazy. So you just don't want it to stain the hair, especially on a blonde. That's probably not the look you're going for. So if you mix it with the recommended time, it's gonna be a consistent lift every time with no confetti sprinkles.